I just went around looking for a figure. Now you can use any figure. I tried it on an STL, it works. And this one I found, file, import, it was a DAE. DAEs are very detailed. So we'll go file, import, and it was a DAE. And then we found Batman. So we press Alt P, and that was clear parent. Now you don't want to keep top one, you want to keep clear parent, clear and keep transformation. The only problem is the scale is there. So if you press Control A and clear the scale, so we're back to 1. So we're good with that. So now we've got our man, we want to add a rig. Now go up to the top, add, come down, armature. Now this is where you've got like birds, human rigs, animals, birds, cat, horse, shark, wolf. This is gamers, isn't it? The one we're going to use is basic human. Now you got, we can do the basic quad. Now if you look, that is a figure. We'll move that along. So if you wanted to do horse, cow, anything like that, anything with 4 legs, you can adapt this. Oh, it's got its head, 4 legs and a tail. So easy. So you can put a figure of a dog in there, add a rig to it and pose it. But we want to add a human one, so we'll go to add, armature, basic human. So it is there, but if we scale this now, it's going to be in the middle of our figure. So what we need to do is bring it so it's always at the front so we can see it. So if you press on the running man, is the rigging man. All right. And then you press viewpoint display, and then halfway down it's got 2 sort of already highlighted in front. Now whenever we move this, it will be in front of our figure so we can see it. Next job we want is to press S with the rig picked. So if it was away from me, you've got to pick the rig, press S, and we want to scale it. And we'll bring the rig up. The bottoms staying the same, but we want to bring up the shoulders round about there. So we've got that, the head and stuff. Now, this is the fun bit. We go into edit mode. And then what we've got to do is move the arms in that. Now, same as before, if you've got an object like this and it's isometric, so same both sides, go to options, press on axe mirror. That way, you don't have to do it twice. So what we need to do now is make these bones, or this rig, to join the figure. So we click there, and then we do a G. Or actually, no, we won't. We'll go with the move tool. You can do a G. But what we've got to do is basically line up all these bones with your figure. So we'll do a G on that. Yeah. But if you do a G, you can move them this way. It's probably a better way of doing it. So what you need to do is press 1 and get them lined up in the front view. 1, own. All right, so we get a front view. Knees, same thing, bring them across. So we're joining our kneecaps. This is another thing you have to be patient. So not too bad, but then you go to the 3 and then you've got make sure, I'll tell you what we will do, it's a bit awkward to see. We'll go to object mode, we'll click on our object and we'll give them a bit of colour. There we go. I love how nice the is. We'll be able to see the bones a bit easier that way. So we click on our rig, we'll go to edit, and then we'll press 3, and we can look at the bones then in the hand, in the arms. So same thing again, you've got to click on, move it across, click on. I'm not going to go too mad. We'll call that quits. Yeah, this is only for demo. So we're happy with our rig. Now you can do this on an animal, so a cat, dog, horse, cow, same thing. You get your animal in, you put your rig on and you just move it about until where the bones should be. Well, they're not right, are they? So there, up. Yeah, you can go on. But if you use G for an item, you can just move them across like that. We're good. Right, we'll call that quits on that. Back to object mode. Now what we're going to need to do now is generate this rig. So we click on, come down to the bottom right, and it's got generate rig. Click on. Right, bad mistake. Control Z. What we need to do, if you look at the scale now, the scale has changed, 2.3, 2.3. So we'll have to do the same thing we've done before, which is Control A, which is apply, and apply the scale to it. These must be 1. If they're not 1, it's not going to work. So we'll click on the rig, we'll generate rig, and it's done some magic, and it's hopefully generated the rig. Now what we need to do now is go up and get rid of the meta rig, our original rig. So if we delete that, so it don't get confusing. So what we need now is click on the mesh, which is our body, do a shift, and then click on the rig. Then we need a Control P. No, we don't. Shift P. Nope. We'll get it there. Click on, Shift, click on, Control P. Oh, there we go. And it will come up with set parent to. So you've got to click on the mesh first, and then the rig second, and then come down, and it's got there with automatic weights. Now the weights is where you move the arm and the other arm will move and stuff like this. It's all clever stuff. I don't understand it really. But anyway, so now hopefully our man is rigged, so we can go to pose mode. We'll click on him, say he's middle. We'll do a G, grab, and there we go. Mr. Man is movable. It is, look, it is throwing up some errors, but then I haven't done this. I haven't made this figure, so, and what you need to do is, there's a lot of messing about. There we go. Click on his hand, come over to the right, and then you have to go to IK parent and go to, we'll go to torso. We'll go to torso, we'll do a grab, and there we go. Oh, it's left half his fingers behind. But, I mean, you can see where any figure now, press G, and you can make whatever figure you like. I don't know why it's left the fingers behind, no. There we go. Same thing with the feet. Now, if you go to move the, grab the foot, press G, Oh, this one works. Yeah, you can lift the foot up. Escape. Some you have to. No, that's working all right. You have to adjust these IK, inverse kinetics. So you can see why it's a thing of joy and pain to do this. But if you do a G in the middle and the thing moves, you're in a pretty good. I'll say, do the head. What we go do? A rotate on the head. There we go. We'll bring it on the Y. Yeah. There's this sort of stuff. But you can see how you can make your whatever figures you like. And if you go back, so try object mode, we'll click on our figure, file, export, STL. Did I save it as? Selection only, practice what you preach. Export. Let's see if it works this time. File, import. It's a bit small. We'll up it to a 0. And there you go. And it does need, it's got open edges. So I would right click, fix through netfab to make your object solid. And there you go, you've got one figure and you can pose him. And this was downloaded as a 3D model, a non-posable 3D model off the internet. Now, if you can find somewhere that's got figures that you like, download it, re-rig it, and the job's a good one.